Worldly success is virtually guaranteed if you are willing to abandon conscience, ethics, morals, and become a cutthroat. Does anyone else wonder how the national debt is being paid if the wealth of the rich keeps growing? I wonder, and you should wonder too. Who's paying it? How is this thing get paid off? How is it not going to get worse and worse and worse? And just, it's utterly failed. So it's when people realize that it is, then we have some horrible Great Depression. Worse, make the Great Depression of the 30s, was it? Look like, the heydays, That's what we could be looking at. I mean, if these people get their way, yeah, we'll have mass death, mass starvation, death camps, concentration camps, FEMA camps set up all over the place, where everybody that lost their will to live just marches in being told, hey, 3 hots and a cot here. But no, you didn't find out that these vaccinations they make you take are just going to put you down. They're just euthanizing you. Wouldn't that be the delight, the dream of the New World Order cabal and all these hypocritical elitists? They would love to do something like that. Oh, but in the name of greater good, right? To save the planet, not to save humanity, but to save their planet, to have more stuff for themselves, to increase their wealth and their power on the earth manyfold. That's what they want. They're sick, man. These are some sick and twisted people. And God help their wretched souls. Always try and steer the conversation toward the targets, the causers of misery, division, and economic tyranny. And that is the money printing class and their colluding politicos. Focus, man. Focus on who's causing the problems. Why this grassroots idea? I say, look, the grassroots nowadays is at the national level. Involve yourself in local politics. It's not the local politicians' fault. Okay, it's not law enforcement's fault that we got these problems. They're not making the economic policies we all have to live under. This stuff has to come from the top. It has to come from the policies, from the money printings. We the people have to gain control over this. If we're going to have changes on a grassroots local community level, it starts there with the money printers. We've got to get control of the money printing operation. We the people have to do the issuance of currency. That's it, man. My name, your name has to be on the money if we're going to play this game fairly. And if we're going to use true capitalism as a means to an end to absolute freedom for everybody. Remember, that's safety and security and prosperity, liberty. It's all those things we all want. Contentment, peace, joy, all those things that we all want. That's what we have to attack, is the money printing class and these high-ranking politicians that have caused all of our problems to this day. And the beast is still, it's like the Bible says, don't muzzle the ox while it's threshing. Well, that's how they feel. They say, don't stop us now. We got a running start. Let's let it get a little worse. I got some friends that still want to jump on the bandwagon here and become a crony capitalist and make money, ill-gotten gains any which way they can, and don't care about the exploding poverty, don't care about the exploding national debt, don't care about the ever-expanding wealth and income disparity. Don't care about those things. Okay, just want it to get worse. We're riding this thing. Let that pimple grow, man. Let it fester, man. Let it thrive. Hey, on all these people that are silently rooting on the side. Well, I don't want everyone to know I'm legal, so I just shut my mouth and I just go along. And I'm just hoping that they keep this train chugging down this track, because I don't care about other people. I care about me and my number. So keep it going. Keep it going. They're rooting for it silently. So their prayers are evil. They're evil. They're possessed by Satan, and they don't even know it. They need to be told. They need to be shown how they're evil. Their hearts are wrong. They got the mark of the beast on their forehead or in their hand. It's a metaphor, okay, for the love of money. That's it. That's what the mark of the beast is. It's that love of the beast. That's saying I'm rooting for that guy. I don't talk about it because it's so controversial, but my heart is impure. It's unclean. I'm demon possessed because I really love money a lot. I love financial freedom. I love financial security. And I can't worry about anybody else. This thing's working for me. I get it. I know where people are coming from. And it's evil. It's ungodly. It's unholy. It's un-American. It's inhuman. And there's only two sides you could be on, the side of humanity or the side of inhumanity. And everybody's got to make that own decision on their own between God and themselves, their owner, because nobody created themselves. We are owned. And all your parents did was follow instinct. If they keep making it harder to merely survive, what the hell do you think is going to happen? Yeah, anybody can figure that out. Any viable reality comes in seizing each moment, not in waiting for some fanciful future event to occur. That's it, man. Live today, enjoy today, stop today and smell the roses. Eternity is comprised of but a series of moments. That's all we have, forevermore. So fighting the good fight is essential. You can't bury your head in the sand and prescribe to ignorance is bliss. Get in the fray, get in the good fight. And then you get rewarded later. You get rewarded today with gladness of heart, knowing and you're part of it, man. We're all part of it. We're all God's champions and servants out there, slaves of our own free will and accord, fighting the good fight for humanity. I want to be a part of that. I want God to say, look, you might have failed, but you tried very hard, and you're going to be, don't worry, you're going to get your reward. That's what he says to everybody that fights the good fight for his causes. And we are his causes, you, me, all of us, him, her. We're his children. We're his beloved children. We're his precious treasure. People need to know that. We need to have the highest self-esteem, but very little ego. It's not about conceit and vanity, what I've done, what my credentials are, how successful I am in the eyes of the world as defined by the worldly definition. Okay, it's not about that. It's from him. He's the one that gives approval. It's about looking to him for these rewards. That's the grantor. That's the giver of all truly good things. And happiness is a truly good thing. To be fulfilled in our lives. To know your heart is pure and right and good. That you want the best for not some people, but for everybody. You want justice to prevail on earth. Not for some people, but for everybody. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. To be on God's side is to be on humanity's side. To be on humanity's side is to be on God's side. Trump. Slowly slowing down the train of economic tyranny. That's what I think he's doing. That's the way it's got to happen. Without a genuine meeting of the minds as to the precise definition of a given word, there can never be a constructive, productive conversation. Word is another term for term. Term is another term for word, right? It's all very intriguing and interesting. Synonyms, terms, and words. But they can be very subjective, and so many terms and words have many different definitions. So when you're having a conversation, if you really are honest and you really are trying to have a productive conversation where you can learn, where the person you're conversing with and having discourse with can learn, then you've got to first of all define the word. If the government comes into the conversation, if freedom comes into the conversation, if money comes into the conversation, okay, what's going in most people's head? Cash. They think about dollars, right? Money. You're talking about money, cash, fiat currency, right? But we all know there's many, many different types of money, and digital being one of those. So you've got to be very clear. Inflation, what are we talking about? Cost of living inflation, currency inflation, or increasing amounts of currency, this Keynesianism. So what are we talking about? When you have that conversation, please, everybody's got to be very clear. There's so many subjective terms that just go past people. So, it's like Babylon. If what's in my head is one thing when a word is spoken, and what's in your head is another thing when a word is spoken, there's no productive conversation. There's no way we can benefit and grow and come out of ignorance and come out of confusion if we don't define precisely, exactly what the meaning of the words are that are used in the conversation. So that's got to be a prerequisite, is defining the terms, having a meeting of the minds as to the precise definition of the term as it's being used in the conversation. Many, even most people working within the establishment would rather keep societal ills in place if it means they keep getting a paycheck. This is what I'm talking about, folks. We are entrapped, ensnared in this system. It's embedded. The madness is embedded in all of our lives. It's insane. when we'd go out and serve with a bounce in our steps and a song on our lips, and instead we got to take this crap. Okay, it's just bull, and people got to figure out it and stop taking it, man. Stop accepting tyranny, because like Thomas Jefferson said, you're going to get every bit that you accept, every bit of tyranny you tolerate, you'll keep getting more and more and more until you say no. Stop the train and get it on a different track. We want to lessen the wealth and income disparity. We want to lessen ever-growing poverty. We want to stop unnecessary human suffering on the entire face of the earth, and we got to start right here in America so we can set an example for other countries to follow. So the best thing we can do, like they say, charity begins at home. Get our own act together here. Stop letting our own native sons and daughters die out in the cold before we start saying you're wrong to not want every immigrant and migrant and refugee in the world to come into America. Don't tell me I'm bad when I'm the good guy. Okay, fix it here first, dumbass. Whoever I'm talking to. You hypocrites make me want to vomit, telling me I'm not a good guy, I'm incompassionate, I'm a xenophobe, I'm a racist or something. No, I invite the entire world to move to America once we fix our own damn problems. We do it in an orderly fashion, first come, first serve type deal. And first we become a beacon, a shining light example, and see if you can make your own nations work. And remembering what the single greatest asset of every nation is. It's a willing workforce. And that exists. Who can say it doesn't? So make the capital available, make it work, feed people, house people, take care of people, and let the system thrive. And I'm not saying it should come out of your pocket or even the multi-billionaire's pocket. The wealth exists. It's in the pockets of the money printing class. So I'm not talking about printing more money. I'm talking about increasing the worth of the money by having natural market forces in place that take over. Supply and demand economics, where it's just a given you're going to see progress. You're going to see a rising tide of prosperity across the board. You're going to see a rising standard of living across the board. That happens naturally, not forced. If you don't meddle with it, you don't interfere with it, you don't subsidize it, you don't exacerbate the problem by feeding the problem, that's what happens naturally. You don't protect the criminals that are out there recklessly lending, and then say, oh, we got to put that on the backs of the taxpayers. We'll ensure that. That's socialized. But as long as we profit, as long as we in the Congress and Senate give ourselves raises that are commensurate with the destruction you cause to the worth of the dollar through currency debasement, through raising our cost of housing, through raising our cost of living, through raising our taxes, by raising our burden. Okay, you see how this thing works? It's people, it's so easy for them to be evil if it doesn't affect them. They say, let that be some of that evil falls on somebody else's head. But the blood's on your hands. You'll answer for your beliefs, for your actions and words and what you've done in life. We all will. We don't own ourselves. Can you decide where you go from here? No, that's in the hands of God alone. When it comes to capitalism and the construction of technology of civilization, remember the source of all capital. Yeah, anything that's of true intrinsic value came from God. If you want to store up a lot of dried fish and trade those, remember who gave you the fish. If you want to store up a lot of dried nuts and grains and seeds and trade those, fine. Remember who it all came from. Remember where the gold came from. Remember who the silver came from. Remember where everything came from. Okay, even the money. God gave these evil people, the imagination to think, wow, this is a good scam. Money. I can own the copyright. I can be the king of the world. I can be Satan. Think of the power. I can have all the goods and services for eternity and hand it on to my kids. Wow, this is a great idea. God, thank you for giving me this great idea to scam everybody else. No, you're evil. You're going to hell unless you repent. That's your choice. If you're going to be pissed off, at least know why. That's what I say. Yeah, if you're going to be pissed off, at least know why you're pissed off. And who isn't? Have you ever met anybody that didn't have some complaint, some supplication? We all do. And it's rightful most of the time. Most people have an instinct for justice, and when they see injustice, it perturbs them, it bugs them, it frustrates them, it makes them indignant and angry. Okay, it brings out all these negative emotions. So yes, we get pissed off. I get pissed off. I like I said, my whole stinking life I've had to watch this thing. With the assassination of JFK, It makes me sick to my stomach. That was a huge nail put in the coffin of this country. And Trump's trying to pull the nails out. This bailout of '08, I'll show you how to fix that. Give me control of HUD, the Housing Authority, in Section 8. I'll fix it overnight. Give me 1 year, okay? 1 year, metaphorically overnight. And I'll have this damn thing fixed. We'll see that market correction. You'll see the price of housing go down. You'll see the cost of living go down. You'll see your taxes go down. You see all the people that wouldn't like that to happen?